Alright, so I'm going to try to record this video just live. The first one I did, I really edited it a lot and it was kind of annoying. I want to try to, once I get the bulk of this information like expressed to you guys, I won't have to do that because, I'll just be explaining things that you should already know if you've watched the whole series. So I want to try to just do this one live while watching it. So I'm just gonna basically explain things as they're happening. I might, I'm not gonna be able to like micro explain every little thing that's happening. But here in the beginning, I was just trying to goof around and use this pistol, but I ended up getting pissed off because I die right here off the bat, and I shouldn't have. Like I just straight up missed these shots right here, and it pissed me off. So I switched my class. I think I died one more time, and then I switched. Like I literally heard this guy coming up there because of the metal sounds of the crates, so I knew he was up there. And like I literally shot so many times and missed. Like that was just me sucking. And then I try again, just because I didn't want to give up. But yeah, we just continue going here. So the thing about this match is that one of my buddies actually joins this match. He's not in right now, but like halfway through the match, he ends up joining this game, and I play with him all the time. And like I've literally been playing with this guy for like a year, and he still thinks I'm a hacker. So this is like his video proof that I'm not. I mean, I posted hundreds of my gameplays of people calling me a hacker and stuff like that, but so I'll explain my shotgun class here. This is like the shotgun class that I use like all the time. I don't want to explain how it works and like the stats and all that here, just because I want to focus on breaking down this gameplay. But the thing about this gun is that you can be so aggressive with it and just like, I mean, it looks like you don't even have to try to aim. Now that's somewhat true. Basically anything within 15 meters, you're basically going to destroy by looking at it. But I don't want to sit here and explain that. But like, really, I just want to talk about, how do I know where all thing, because that's the thing, people think I'm a hacker all the time, and that's because they just suck at the game, like straight up. Like, I'm so tired. I was talking about in the other video. I'm so tired of people calling me like. I mean, being called a hacker is amazing because it means you're a god at Call of Duty like I am. But the fact of the matter is that people that call you a hacker are just stupid, like legitimately, and they don't know what they're talking about. They usually don't play video games. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to grandstand or anything, but like, I'm a hardcore gamer. I play video games my whole life. Like, I mean, but it's true though. The people that call you a hacker that when you're not are just like, you know, they're people that don't play video games. It's just something they do for like a couple hours. So again, when you're playing the game, like there's so many things that, again, it's like I said in the other video. I mean, this is 15 years of me playing Call of Duty that you're watching right here. And there's like I was explaining it a lot more in the first video, just micro details about stuff like, the key things you want to focus on when you're first starting out getting good at the game. Like, I micro focused on a lot of details in the first video just to because I really wanted to explain everything, but honestly, like what you need to focus on in the first, like when you're first getting good at the game, it's like I've said before, footsteps are the first, like noise in general is the first thing you need to focus on when you're starting to get good at Call of Duty. That's why I was talking about you have to have a good headset. I honestly neglected to talk about in the first episode, like, you know, it sounds like you have to pay your way in, but I mean that's just how it is. To be frank, like I'm not saying it's like I said in the first video. It's not like you have to, buy the best of the best. But like I have a very big TV. I mean, not a, well, it's a very big TV. Like I have a big TV, and I sit fairly close to it. My face isn't pressed up against it or nothing. But like that's something I neglected to talk about. Having a big TV means you can see better. Like straight up, it means you can see better. You can see bigger pictures of like enemies and stuff. You can see farther away. It's not like it's gonna make you better, but I mean, you'll be able to just have more information. I used to play, back in the day, like I used to play on a crappy TV, and it's like I remember when I got a bigger TV, it was like, oh my god, like I'm so much better because I can see things that I literally couldn't before. So that's something. And then like, I mainly talked about a headset and a controller and whatnot, but just sit. If you want to play better, you have to sit like. Don't burn your eyes out. I mean, that's not really how that works. Burning your eyes out because you're close to the TV, but sit fairly close to your TV. Sit like, I always lean forward when I play a match or like when I'm really trying. Like if I sit back in my chair, like I actually can't see as well and I can't perform as well sometimes. So when I'm serious, I'll like sit closer so I can see like, farther away or more detailed. But anyway, so like focus on sound. You know, we're talking about like actually getting good. So like focus on sound. You want to be listening to people's footsteps. That right there is like the biggest thing. Like they call it sound whoring. It's really just called, being good at the game and, not sucking. I mean, why would you not use information the game is literally designed to give you? So, focus on like the things you want to be looking for with footsteps in particular is like, okay, how loud are the footsteps? It's like I was talking about in the first video. Are they crouching? Can you hear the pitter patter? Or are they tactical sprinting? Are they running? Are they walking? The footsteps in this game, this didn't used to be how it was, but depending on if a person is sprinting or walking, it actually makes a different noise. It's not that it's quieter, it legitimately makes a different noise. So get used to learning the different noises, but in general, you just want to be able to listen and hear the footsteps. Another detail actually is that I think it's designed this way. I remember back when the game first came out, it didn't used to be like this, but they actually changed it. Your enemies' footsteps they actually sound louder and more clear than your friendlies, because before it was like impossible to tell anybody apart because like your friendlies would sound like enemies, but like the enemies' footsteps legitimately sound different than your friendlies. Sometimes it's weird, and like sometimes I'll think a friendly's next to me, but it's actually an enemy, and vice versa. Doesn't happen very often, but it's a very good way to like know who's in front of you. Just overall, get used to listening to footsteps. Listen for gunfire. Put the pieces together. Oh, am I hearing gunfire? Am I seeing a blue dot over to where the gunfire is? Oh, I'm not seeing a blue dot. Well, then that must mean an enemy's over there. Like if I hear gunfire and I have a headset and I'm like, okay, it's coming from this direction in front of me, and like, oh, there's a blue dot. Okay, well, there's a good chance that that's just my friendly shooting something. So it's like, okay, my friendly shooting something. Like, okay, so maybe there's an enemy over there, or just you always have to be listening for sound. Listen to the frag pin being removed or the stun grenade pin. You can hear someone, pulling the pin off a grenade, or like the Semtex, or a trophy system making noise. Just sound is the biggest benefit in this game. Like 100%. Like half this game, in terms of like getting good, I would say like you don't. Here's the thing, like you don't want to rely on sound. I know that's kind of backwards, but like yes, sound is very important, but sometimes you can't use that to your advantage. Sometimes like things are too loud. There's too many gunshots, like there's too much enemy fire and you can't hear anything, or there's like a kill streak in the air and it's really loud and you can't hear it, or a grenade goes, So in that regard, like obviously you don't want to rely on sound, or you don't want to be scared to move around because you're making sound and you can't hear anything. Just you have to get good at like actually playing the game, but you don't want to rely on sound. Like yes, sound is like your biggest strength, honestly. It gives you so much information. This is how like you're watching this video and you're like, well, how did I even know like where that guy was? It's sound. The majority of the kills in this game, I know where people are going to come before they're even there, just based off of sound alone. You don't need a radar. You don't need your enemies calling them out. You don't need you just sound. The enemies are a radar. They're literally a radar if they move around. That's why Dead Silence is such a lethal perk or a field upgrade, because it literally it takes away your biggest strength. I mean, we could debate about some people don't like field upgrade Dead Silence because they think it should be a perk, but that's a whole other discussion. But sound is your biggest thing. So right when you're first starting off, just get used to listening for things. Listen to and here's another thing too, like. Your friendlies will actually call enemies out. I think I mentioned this in another episode, but so like if you're next to a friendly and your friendly's character is in the direct line of sight of an enemy, the friendly will almost always call them out. They'll say like, "Oh, enemy over there," or like or contact, or something like that. Listen to what your friendlies are saying, because that's a huge cue. I mean, it just literally tells you, "Hey, there's an enemy." Like if you hear your friendly say that, look over to them and see like, oh, where are they looking? Where's the, if the mini map's up, where's their little arrow on the mini map? Where's it pointing? Oh, it's pointing this way. Oh, he said contact. There's an enemy in front of him, so he must be over here. Just sound, listening. Being observant. This. I remember for the longest time when I first started playing Call of Duty 15 years ago, like I just didn't think like I think most people don't think about it. They just don't think like, hey, I can listen for things. And like literally, I remember how mind blown I was when I first discovered that. I was like, wait, I can listen, and the footsteps actually tell me where people are. It's like it was just such a huge mind blow to me. I was like, oh my god, like I can get I'm so much better now. And so many people just don't take advantage of it. Either most of the time it's because they don't have a headset or something like that, or they don't care or whatever. But anyway, so sound is your biggest key. So hopefully that was a good breakdown. But I'm gonna post this raw gameplay so you can just watch it and listen for yourself, and hear the shit talk and whatnot. But that's what I'll do. Another thing I want to mention real quick is listen to the sound that the footsteps are making. Is it wood? Is it metal? Is it cement? So that was just another thing I forgot to say. So anyway, I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.